Is there a flag on the play? I don't see one. 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown! Tennessee scored!
Yeah, the sun's burning fog off the Tennessee. The Vawl Navy's making waves and it's orange they bleed. Vawl Nation's tailgating and they're raring to go. Yeah, when Neyland gets to rocking, it's a hell of a show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 18 of the Vawls Deep podcast. Week 2 in the books. Our Tennessee Volunteers are 2-0. It wasn't pretty, but a win is a win.
It happened. It's over. Let's go on to Florida.
W is a W.
Yep. Coming to you live from the Vawl Cave. We're live on just about every platform possible. Share this out for us. Give us some likes if you don't care. We have a great episode today for all of you.
Send some stars, too.
Yeah, send some stars. We have a ton to talk about regarding Tennessee Volunteer football team. We're going to grade position groups for their win versus Austin Peay. We're going to go over General Neyland's game maxims. Did Tennessee cover all Neyland's maxims? We'll go over that. The NFL is underway and have a great slate of college football going on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursdays. Am I missing any days?
Sometimes Wednesdays.
Sometimes Wednesdays.
It's the best time of the year. We have football every week through February.
That's right. We had some good college football games this week as well. We have week 3 game predictions coming up. We have giveaways as well. Spur, who won last week's prediction giveaway?
That'd be Dalton Castle of Cofield, or Dalton Roberts of Cofield. I'm sorry. Dalton Roberts of Cofield, you have won. I've already sent him a message, Luke, so he's aware.
Good deal. Yeah, we'll have to get that to him. Congratulations, Dalton, on winning last week's giveaway. We'll be doing another giveaway tonight. We have a $25 gift card, baseball, football cards, some decals. Stick around for details on that giveaway.
I'll be happy to say we had nearly 80 entries last week, so moving on up. So get your picks in early.
It's a lot to count. Speaking of predictions, Spanky finished last.
This is miserable. This is terrible.
In last week's
It's tomfoolery. Hoodwinked.
Pick'ems, Corbin went 7-3.
You damn right I did.
Bringing his record to 500. No, it's 21-11. Spur went 6-4.
I'm 21-11 on the season so far.
He thought when he
Dang.
said 500 from it, have
Dang,
we made
I'm
500
good.
picks already?
Spur went 6-4, bringing his record to 18-14. Spanky went 5-5, bringing his to 20-12.
What are you doing over there, Spanky?
The NFL ones hurt me, brother. The NFL ones hurt me.
You sat there and watched all the games with me. You should.
I did. That don't mean I got them right.
Daggum.
I went 6-4, bringing mine to 19-13. So Spanky has to dip into the cup of misfortune for
I'll
the
dip in
first
some
time.
chips if you got it.
You've already ate all the chips we got out
There you
before
go.
the show.
Remember, everyone, Spur has to be a parking lot attendant at Walmart. He has to park 10 cars in Gainesville. And tonight, tell them what you're doing.
I'm eating this
Can't
peanut
cook
butter and banana sandwich. Is happening. And I got Duke's mayonnaise, Shane Beamer mayonnaise right here. Get it together there, Luke.
Don't choke.
So he's going to eat the banana and mayonnaise sandwich later tonight. We'll go over our week 3 opponent. We head to the Swamp, Tennessee versus Florida. It doesn't get any better than this.
That's right. Regardless of how the first 2 games went, it's Florida week, baby. Let's get it on.
Oh, y'all supposed to cover for me right there.
I tried. Nobody else would fill in,
What can we expect from the Gators? We'll let you know. We have some game information for you as well. Stick around for the week 3 preview. We have start bench cut, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, or other. And then we have the duel. 3-week reigning champ, Spur.
That's right. Going to make it 4 weeks this week. This belt is going to Gainesville with us.
Damn.
You'd be ashamed.
It's headed to Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend with me.
What kind of Tennessee fan are you going to a damn NASCAR race?
I'm going to wear my overalls tomorrow night to the NASCAR race up there. And my coonskin hat.
You need to be in a car going to Gainesville.
All right, we'll be right back with our recap. Share this out to your friends, and let's have a good time tonight. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the Vawl Daddy. I want to give a big shout-out to the Fairview Union. Great musicians, local people. Chad's from my hometown. They were gracious enough to let us use their music for our podcast. Make sure you check them out. They're huge Tennessee fans. You won't be disappointed. Let's hear them play.
Man, you won't believe that roar when the boys find the checkerboard. The big orange is back. It's a fact. Volunteers, where you at? Get loud, staying proud. Send a message to the crowd. Y'all better get used to the fact. The big orange is back on track. Coach Hyper, where you at? Getting it done, having fun. Power team number one. Y'all better get used to the fact. The big orange is back.
Big Orange Concrete Pumping. They can accommodate any residential or commercial concrete project that you may have in mind. They have one of the biggest line pumps in the state. They take a lot of pride in their work, and they're waiting on your phone call today. Their number is 865-371-3367. Whether you're pumping noise and kneeling or pumping concrete, make sure you roll with the Big Orange. That's Big Orange Concrete Pumping, 865-371-3367. All right, and we're back. Episode 18, Vawls Deep Podcast.
Oh, hey.
We're
there
coming
it
to
is.
you live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're about to hit this week's recap. We appreciate the likes, comments, and shares. Please keep them rolling in for us, and I'll try to quit coughing. Tennessee gets the win over Austin Peay, 30-13. Overall thoughts on this game?
Wasn't pretty, but as we said at the start of the show, a win's a win. It's not what everybody expected, even myself. I figured it'd go out there and be a blowout. But, we got to remember, guys, this is still a young team. Kinks are still going to be worked out here. Like, this ain't a return. Everybody's returning team. It's still pretty young, okay? Still some new faces out there. Just got to give them time.
The best thing I can take away from this game is we didn't. Luke had to get some water. He's about to die over here. But the best
Fourth wall, kayfabe.
the best thing to take away is we didn't show anything in our playbook. We didn't give nothing special away at all. We was playing the most standardized offense you could play on that field.
There's so much to say. First off, hats off to Austin Peay. They brought the fight to Tennessee for 4 quarters. Their head coach is fired up, and his team gave everything they had. We've heard all the negative talk about how they're a much weaker opponent. We should have blown them out by 40, and all that may be true. However, let's consider one thing. I believe that Austin Peay has at least 50 or so players on that roster that's from the state of Tennessee. And I would almost bet to guarantee that out of those 50 or more players, 95% of them grew up dreaming of the opportunity to play inside Neyland Stadium. And last Saturday night was that opportunity. They played inside Neyland Stadium in front of a sold-out crowd. Saturday, that dream come true, and they left it all on the field. Yeah, there were some scrappy plays, and the officials were pretty much terrible. We got hit in the mouth, but we still got back up and won the game fairly easily.
Yeah, it was ugly. I'm not going to take anything away from Austin Peay, though. Like you said, they gave it their all. They looked tough. But Billy Napier, he's going to be using all the trick plays, crazy formations, the reverses, all that stuff. Damn.
Let's go over some offensive stats, Luke. Tennessee ran the ball 32 times for 228 yards. They averaged 7.1 yards per carry. Jalen Wright led the way with 124 yards on 13 attempts, averaging 9.1 yards per carry. Jabari Small followed that up with 97 yards rushing on 13 carries, which is 7.3 yards a carry. Dylan Sampson, he only touched the ball 3 times at the line of scrimmage for a total of 8 yards. Joe Milton, he ran 3 times for 34 yards and a touchdown. What are you guys' thoughts on the Tennessee run game?
I still think it's pretty solid. I think it's the best part of our offense, really. Run game's very solid. And who would have thought that going in? Everybody thought going in it was going to be a pass-heavy offense, but, time and time again, them running backs, they heard it all offseason. They're like, hey, we want to tote that rock too, boy.
Yeah, being 3 deep never hurts you.
I bet you hear that a lot, don't you?
Yeah, running was great. Should have ran it more. I feel like we're just trying to kind of find a groove in the passing game. But I don't know how Dylan Sampson only gets 3 carries after scoring 4 touchdowns versus Virginia.
I went back, and we're going to talk more stats here in a minute. I went back and watched that game. I don't believe we ran more than 6 different offensive plays the entire game. You know, maybe a couple in the first quarter and we threw some over the middle, but in general, we ran the same plays over and over and over and over, because why not?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like we played a pretty safe, standardized style. You know, it's like we was about 10 years ago, but back 10 years ago, playing the way we was playing, but in a way where nobody can go on film this week and get anything off of us from that game.
Joe Milton was 21 for 33, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hot topic right now. Thoughts on Joe Milton?
I'll go ahead and say it. I said a couple months back, whenever we were given what scares us the most about the offense, and I said Joe Milton in the quarterback play, and everybody said, "Oh, that's a dumb take. He'll be fine." Well, guess what? He's doing fine right now. But the majority of the people out there are not happy because he's not throwing 5 touchdowns a game or whatever. And look, people's got to realize this. Whenever you set a standard so high and that standard isn't met, you're going to get met with disappointment. That's why you can't have super high expectations for the kid. He's doing fine. Like, he's had, 200 passing yards each game? It's like most quarterbacks would love to have that.
You know, I agree, Spanky, but it must be better this week. There's no doubt. I'm a Joe guy, and I believe in him. If something's gotten into his head, then hopefully that's fixed ASAP. But like you said, his stats don't tell the story, though, because his stats are pretty daggum good overall. You know, he's still making good decisions with the ball. He's still not throwing an interception while at Tennessee. Numbers don't lie, but it doesn't tell everything either.
Yeah, I'm not hating on Milton. I think Milton's played good so far this year. There's a lot of the fan base that says they're going for his head, you know. But at the end of the day, you got people that's wanting Nico. You got people that's expecting to be like Hendon Hooker. It's hard to live up to Hendon Hooker standards at the moment. And if you look at the stats from last year, Hendon Hooker's first 2 games Tennessee, him and Joe Milton's neck and neck with the same exact stats. So this is just part of it. I mean, it's a rough game. It wasn't the roughest game for him, you know, but it's, you know, I mean, games like what happened Saturday that's going to happen. That's a part of football. Not everybody plays perfect all the time. You never know. Like, that's one of the games that next week we play UTSA, and it'll be like all of a sudden like a 60-0 blowout, and then not giving us hype up on that yet, but because we gave UTSA so much credit, going to be a tough opponent, but you just know how it works out. This is just one of those things, college football, that happens.
Yeah, I mean, no interceptions, but he was high on some, behind on some, but 4 or 5 of the incompletions should have been caught. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Got to be more efficient overall, though. It's a double-edged sword, I guess. But I said it early preseason. I'm going to say it again. I think Joe Milton's Heisman campaign starts in Gainesville.
I agree 100%. If he goes out there and balls like we know Joe Milton can, then so the national media will be talking about Joe Milton for Heisman soon.
Yep. He's on the cover of ESPN all day today, Joe Milton.
And it was a huge article. If you haven't seen the ESPN article on Joe Milton, they wrote a novel about him. It's fantastic. Took me 30 minutes to read it.
Let's hit on our receivers now. Ramel Keaton, 5 catches, 52 yards, a touchdown. Brew McCoy, 5 catches, 51 yards. McAllen Castles, 1 catch, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Squirrel White, 4 catches for 30 yards. Jalen Wright had didn't miss Jalen Wright. Jabari Small, Jacob Warren, Dylan Sampson all caught at least 1 pass. Thoughts on receivers and the backs receiving?
Receivers got to catch some balls that are getting thrown their way.
Yep. If it hits you in the hands, catch it. Isn't that right, Spanky?
Yeah, that's just how it is. Like, the quarterback can only do so much. You got to catch the ball, and I get it. We're still early in the year. There's no need to be all get your panties in a wad at some of these college kids. We got to remember they're still student athletes. Okay, it's going to happen. People out there want to complain about it. Well, you know, you can go out there and try it and see how you fare.
Yeah, you know. We're just going to shake the drops off and don't let it become a habit, and let's get on to the swamp and show them what we can really do.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest thing ever for receiving, I'll be honest. I was frustrated sitting there in stands at points. But I think we go to Florida. This is going to be a good opportunity. Like, it's a rivalry game, so we're gonna play different. You know, we walked into Austin P like, okay, we're gonna beat that butt over here, but Florida, we'll see what we got for sure with the receiving, with Milton and all of them.
Yeah, you just gotta catch football, man. Good play at times, but we have to focus. It's just not the same play as last year. We'll hit the comment box here in a minute, I promise. Defense, Tennessee looked decent to me. Allowed 260 passing yards. They only allowed 79 rushing yards, which mostly came from the Austin P quarterback. We shut the run down, only like 43 rushing yards from the backfield. 7 sacks as a team.
Yeah. Austin's P quarterback run up the middle on 4th and 2, 2 minutes into the game, and that was pretty much their only decent run of the whole game. It kind of changed everything. It set the tempo for Austin P. But from that point on, they didn't have anything of significance. Late drive touchdown. I feel that the game was a mute point at that point. Austin P was playing for pride, and to give them credit for it. I mean, the coach from Austin P was just so fired up the whole game and animated.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is how he used his timeouts was so unorthodox. But he used them anytime Tennessee got any kind of momentum. He called timeout. It was almost like Lane Kiffin faking an injury, but that's what he was using his timeouts for.
Hey,
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
And that's the thing with these games right here. You always got to watch out for these games, especially like an Austin P. Like Spur said earlier, half them kids live in the state of Tennessee. They probably dreamed of that. They got nothing to lose. It's not like they're going in there projected to win. Everyone's not giving them a chance. So what do they have to lose? As a coach, that's probably the best motivational game you could do right there to your kids. Be like, hey, look, you're in Neyland Stadium. Okay, what else we got to lose? Just screw it. Let's just go balls to the wall.
That's going to be Billy Napier's attitude, too.
Yep.
And last year it was his attitude. I mean,
I guess the most disappointing thing I had in the whole thing was the way that some people reacted. It was almost as if we lost the game.
Yeah.
The way people were acting. We didn't lose the game. We won by 17 points.
Them booing, like, Milton and them, like, really? It's like...
Yeah, played a lot of young players on defense, especially at linebacker. Just trying to get reps from Keenan Peely's injury. Out of position, a little hesitant, but good overall. I think Haddon got done wrong on the pass interference calls. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
There was a few bad
Especially
calls.
when you don't call it going the other way.
You know, that's one rule that I would like to see modified a little bit. If a pass is severely underthrown, we should not be penalizing the defense for being in good position and the quarterback making a bad throw. That is not a defender's fault.
Aaron Beasley, 9 total tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks.
He a dog.
Should have had a recovered fumble. He got screwed there. Great game from Wesley Walker, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a sack. I thought true freshman Jeremiah Thielander played really good at linebacker. He played pretty much the whole second half. Since we recruited him, everybody hasn't really thought of him that much because he's just a 3-star. But man, his tape was great. Another solid performance from Tyler Barron and James Pierce Jr. I thought Joshua Joseph looked good too. Thoughts on Aaron Beasley?
Like I said, he was a dog on Saturday. He played the best game that you could Saturday. He played phenomenal.
You called him a dog. I called him a beast. He's a beast. How in the world was that play not overturned to a fumble? I'll never know.
I have no idea.
I mean, when the commentators are completely dumbfounded when it goes to replay and it's not overturned, that says something. I don't criticize officials too often, but golly, it made no sense to me whatsoever.
Speaking of officials, I don't think we're going to be talking about them tonight, but that's some bad officiating calls.
Yeah, it was one of the not the worst, but one of the worst I've seen in a long time.
Like I was getting vibes from the Ole Miss game a few years ago in the stands, like the way things was going down.
That was the worst.
That was the worst.
Aaron Beasley is one of the best linebackers in the country. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he's going to get some looks at the next level.
Just please stay healthy, man.
Absolutely. We desperately need to keep him on the field.
Our front 7 looks good. We have to be better at containing the quarterback, though.
I agree.
We'll go over special teams real fast, and then we'll hit the comment box. Special teams look better, not great, but much better. Hit all the field goals, hit the PATs. Punting was definitely better. Still had one kick out of bounds. Can't do that in the swamp.
Well, heck, any positive's better than the negative. So we knew we were going to have a good week this week. All we had to do is just show up.
Man, when I saw that kick out of bounds sitting in the stands, I was like,
We had
dang,
was it two, right?
it was 2 against Virginia.
And then 1. So maybe there'll be 0 in the swamp. We can't
just-
be giving up any free yards.
I just saw that when they standing there, and I was like, oh, man, that's not good. Like, what's going on with the kicking on kickoff right now?
It makes me wonder if they're calling a kick to the corner and trying to keep it in bounds to set up a short return. I just say kick it through the end zone at this point, at least right now, until he's more experienced with that. We also recovered a muff punt, which we hadn't mentioned, so that was great on special teams. And Jackson Ross looked quite a bit better. His first kick wasn't great, it wasn't bad, but the other punts he had I thought was pretty solid.
Yeah, I think he's better with his left foot than his right foot.
Absolutely. I still want to see him take off running one time.
He's going to
coming.
do it.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
Coming. What's Dion say? We coming.
Hit the shut up.
God.
Hit the comment box. Ike says, let's go Big Orange. Ryan Damon says, go Big Orange. Kimberly says, go Big Orange. Beat the Gators.
Ryan says he thought I was eating peanut butter today. Ryan, I showed you the mayonnaise. I just left your house.
No, it's mayonnaise.
Peanut butter, probably
mayonnaise
good
and
on it.
banana.
Mayonnaise and peanut butter is really good. I've had that before.
Yeah, well, no, you could take the
God.
banana and take the mayonnaise off. Peanut butter be okay with it.
Mayonnaise, banana sandwich, best late night snack they are.
Jacob says he just got to his Airbnb. He's ready for the game. That's awesome. We're headed down early Friday morning.
Yeah, Dustin Gold says Milton has to throw for 225 plus and 2 TDs for us to win. You know, I agree that Milton needs to have a great game, but I think our run game could dominate.
I think our run game is going to dominate. Tommy says, let's go Vawls. Austin Keithley says he's here for Corbin Rogers.
I'm sorry.
My brother's watching. Hey, Michael. Stephen Potter's watching. That's the first time I've seen him on here.
They check the YouTube chat real fast. Dalton says, Spank, he needs one of those hats.
I can hook you up, brother.
Jamie says Wright averaged 9 yards per carry for the second week in a row. Yeah, he has the top average in the SEC, and I think he's second in the country.
It's pretty dang good. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, and imagine what he would be doing if he didn't have 2 other studs right behind him. Kelsey says, give me a go Vols, drain the dang swamp. Streak dies Saturday, baby. Let's go.
We're going down there to drain it, that's for sure.
Kelsey also says Joe was fine, but I think we all want to see those 15-plus yard passes connected on time and out in front with receivers on the move. Hype will get them right, and I think we will see a different Joe Saturday.
Florida, hey, Florida's so scared. They're sending alligators up to Wattsboro Lake. Did you see that?
I didn't.
They found one in Wattsboro Lake today.
No, the Gators are moving to Rocky Top. They found where Home Sweet Home is.
Mr. Jones says Saturday will be 7,000.
That's a dig.
I figured it
That was a dig at you,
was.
Spanky.
I figured
Directly
it
at
was.
you, Spanky.
He says it'll be 7,301 days since we beat Florida in the swamp.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
crazy.
been 742 days since Florida's beaten Tennessee. Period.
Let's see. Mr. Jones also says Austin P would have beat Florida.
And I don't know about all that.
The way they played, they gave them a hard time.
If Florida played like they did game 1 against who they played game 1, Utah, and then Austin played us, that'd be a good game. That'd be a dang good game on ESPN.
I think win that one just because the reason Austin P was close. One, we didn't give them any. We didn't give them any favors, but you know it's like what Spur kept saying, and people keep wanting to forget about this. That was a motivational game for Austin P. Them players wanted that moment, and now if they would have went somewhere else, who would have known that buzz wouldn't have been there for them. That hype wouldn't have been there for them. Teams that are motivated will do amazing things.
The starting center for Austin P had never played a snap of college football in his life. And he comes out there and he throws that blindside block that was probably targeting, but, you know, it was an emotional moment for the kid.
I liked it. I mean, if it wasn't against our players, I'd be like,
Yeah. Oh!
Yeah. Rick Crass says you all struggled with a high school team last week, and the 20-year streak will continue. Then Austin, you can come back on the orange and blue side. Go Gators.
I don't know who Austin is. Who's that? No.
See, Tommy Lee says go Vawls, and Mr. Jones said that was Austin Peay Super Bowl, and we're looking ahead to Florida. I agree. We were looking ahead to Florida.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's
let's.
like I said last week, one game at a time. And I say that for everything. It don't matter if it's Atlanta Braves in the playoffs, NASCAR playoffs, NFL. Like I love the Titans, like one game at a time. Tennessee Vawls, one game at a time. Everything always is one game at a time for me. That's how I think you should take it every week by week, one game at a time.
Yeah, you definitely should. Just when you know what's next, it's hard to. A player like no offense, but if we played we played somebody mediocre, then had on out of the next week.
Oh, Randy Squint says he thought we looked like a team on Varsity Blues that went to the strip club the night before.
That's where Austin's going. That's where the real Spanky's going tonight. That's what he said.
Nah, I'm going to bed tonight, but it's Wednesday.
All right, let's go over General Neyland's game maxims. We'll go over each one and agree or disagree if that maxim has been reached. Number 1, the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win.
I think we made a ton of mistakes, but we didn't turn the ball over. But we had drop
We did
after
have
drop
one
after drop.
fumble. Ramel fumbled.
Yeah, that's right. We did have one, but
Had one. I don't know, the drops and then some of the throws. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe like a 50-50 or something on this one. Number 2, play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score.
we didn't take advantage of the muff punt early in the game. We got a field goal there when we got the ball inside the 25. All the breaks really seemed to go Austin Peay's way the entire game, whether it be the bad calls or the funny bounces or whatever. But we still found a way to win.
They capitalized on the momentum they were given.
Yeah, we got to turn that into 7, not 3.
Absolutely.
Especially against a team like that. Number 3, if at first the game or breaks go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam.
Well, they didn't really. You got to have momentum to get steam. So I know towards the end, we started to run away with it a little bit, but we still you got to start fast and finish fast.
I feel like we're a team that's got to get that first down and start the game. Like you get that first down and we're going.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we fought enough to win. We definitely didn't.
We didn't allow the officials to cost us the game. Our team seemed to be poised even when facing adversity. You never seen panic. You never seen adversity. You never seen bad attitudes on our team. It was all positive, even when we wasn't playing well.
Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, and our ball game.
They protected the lead.
When we protected our kicker, I think Joe only got sacked once.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I was really frustrated on that one sack because if you go back and watch it, Joe was going deep on that play. That was the one time he was going to throw the ball deep, and he got sacked on it. So I really wish we had that play back to see what would have happened.
Ball, Oski, cover, block, cut, slice, pursue, and gang tackle for this is the winning edge.
You can't say nothing negative about the defense on Saturday.
I don't know. I don't think we tackled as well as we did in week 1, but we still didn't allow Austin Peay to run on us.
Yeah, other than the quarterback kind of scrambling around, I thought we done fine, especially with the amount of bodies that we played. Press kicking game. Here's where the breaks are made.
We made all of our kicks, enough said.
Yeah.
100%. Carry the fight to our opponent and keep it there for 60 minutes. Didn't play a 60-minute game, that's for sure.
No.
I'll tell you what, Austin Peay brought the fight to us, and our athleticism and sheer talent won that game. So we must bring the fight to Florida this week.
Hey, I'll give Austin Peay this. In the words of a former UT coach, they had 5-star hearts. They did.
Champions of life.
That's right. They had 5-star hearts, but sometimes 5-star athletes will outshine 5-star hearts.
Yeah, too many energy vampires going on.
Yeah.
Got to work on our eye discipline.
I just think it's one of those games. People freaking out, text me all week about Tennessee.
Corbin, we're champions of life.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Hey, we're building this thing brick by brick, man. Concrete by concrete.
Yeah, and just everybody's talking like Tennessee. They're not that good this year, like based off what they done against Austin Peay. And
we looked pretty sloppy at the beginning of last year too, honestly.
Yeah, we did, and that's what I was saying earlier with the stats of Milton and Hooker from last year. and it just pisses me off because it's like I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there in the stadium, and like the halftime, okay, and I'm getting text messages like, "What are we doing? We're done for. We're gonna win 8 games this year." I'm like, how do you like go from like, oh, we're gonna be like champions of the season, and then go to like, oh, we're 8 wins in like 2 quarters. Like, you cannot base off just one game, especially a game with Austin Peay playing with all the heart they had. They did, and I'll be honest.
I mean,
shit happens.
Georgia's struggled for 2. Man, they look really rough. So all the big teams look pretty rough.
Yeah, we're not the only team.
Or last week, sorry.
Yeah, we're not the only team that struggled last week. Like Clemson was playing Charleston Southern, and yeah, they won like 66 to 21 or something. But it was like a 3-point game at halftime.
Hey, Eastern Kentucky kept it close with Kentucky. They did.
Ohio State, 2 straight weeks playing bum teams, and here's Ohio State winning 35-7 against Youngstown State University. I mean, and another week where Ohio State falls the rankings again.
It's like Corbin said. We wasn't off to the best start, but plenty of other teams in the top 15 struggled as well, and I'll mention that later on this podcast. I think I have some notes written down. Georgia, like you said, Luke, just looked awful, especially in the first quarter. I don't think they could have beat Cofield High School.
Not many people can.
Oh, knew that was coming.
Yeah.
We also have some
And
game
Middleton.
time news for y'all regarding Week 4 versus UTSA. The Roadrunners will square off versus our Volunteers at 4 p.m. next Saturday.
It's another great time for tailgating, and you're not out there all day, but you're still out there long enough.
The Spank will be in Neyland.
It could be hot, it could be cold, it could be perfect. We don't know in mid-September.
Such an odd time though, because before this year, like, we're getting stuck with all these odd times starting, and like before, like, it's always 12 o'clock, 3:30, 7 o'clock, and here we're being stuck at 5 o'clock games, 4 o'clock games, like, very weird.
I like the start time. Yeah, it's odd, but plenty of time for tailgating. It beats the crap out of a noon game.
Yeah.
Means it'll be about daylight when we get outside the stadium.
I missed 3:30 kickoffs on. People can say what they want about CBS. I'm sorry, but that's just nostalgia right there.
4 o'clock and 3:30 is pretty similar. So
just 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's the same.
You can get a lot done in 30 minutes. You know that.
Pretty good
I ain't going
weekend
there.
for college football. A lot of big names struggled, like we just said. A lot of big names still looking sloppy. Georgia looked rough. Bama falls to Texas. Ohio State still hasn't impressed me. I thought Oregon.
They've been good, very good the past few years. And here they got Ole Miss coming to their home turf and get blown out. That's surprising. But, Tulane, they lost a ton from last year, so I guess it's understandable. But they still was a ranked team. That's a ranked win for Ole Miss.
And see, and I'm not trying to bash whatever you're saying, Corbin, but I hate, and I agree. Someone said this the other day on ESPN. I don't get the whole preseason rankings. Like, all that's good for is TV viewership.
It's good for us to talk about on this podcast.
Yes, that's all it's really good
Let's
for.
be honest about it.
You realistically do not get a feel for who's good or not until like about week 3 or 4. Realistically, you really don't.
And you can't really do a good ranking until after 6 or 7 weeks, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Tennessee certainly isn't the only top 15 team who struggled. There's a lot of parity in college football this year, and that's a great thing. I don't think we have a single dominant team. Texas is going to be a tough out in the SEC for years to come. Oh, hey, Luke, guess what?
What?
Bama lost. Ain't that great?
Bama lost to UT again, didn't they?
Yeah. No, we're the real UT.
We're the real
Spanky.
We can be number 1. They can be number 2.
I got a good start bench. Which start bench cut? Who's going to be the first coach gone for their school? Is it going to be Billy Napier at Florida, Nick Saban at Alabama, or Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M?
And I think Saban's got a pretty big leash on him. He's got a.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and go right into our first. Well, let's hit the comment box real fast. My YouTube comments, I had to refresh, and they are not loading. So go ahead and re-comment them if you want.
Sorry,
to.
YouTube.
But Jonathan on YouTube said even good teams play poorly in the first few weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody is, and that's just how it is. You're trying to get a rhythm going offensively. You know, you can only get the same look so many times in practice. It takes getting used to playing different bodies.
James Fair says, bring Cofield down to Greenville. We'll spank that tail off of y'all over the field.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
it's a 4A school. Of course you all will.
Yeah, we got like
That's
I
like Tennessee
graduated
playing
with
Austin
like
P.
38 people, man. Mr. Jones says Joe doesn't lose in Florida. Dante Thornton needs to show he belongs this week, or he could get passed up by the next wide receiver.
Kimberly says she read where Saban is retiring after this year. There's a
read
lot of
that.
rumors about that, but nothing's been made official.
That post you saw about that was a fake news report at the moment. I mean, I got asked same question, and it was a fake report, just trying to get some clicks on some clickbait.
That's all it is. And Saban, his retirement, he's not going to announce it till the season's over with. I feel like he'll announce it. He ain't going to make this big old spectacle of it and all that stuff. I think it'll be right after the season.
Yeah,
I hope he's one of them coaches that just
rides off the side
aspire
and sit and be
so
gone.
low, man, until they just call it quits.
The day Nick Saban does retire, Jimbo Fisher is the new head coach of Alabama.
I wouldn't go there.
Not Jimbo Fisher. I'm talking about Clemson's coach. Never mind.
Dabo
Dabo Sweeney. Not
Heck,
Jimbo.
I don't know about
I
now. I don't know
Not
now.
Jimbo.
Dion.
Dabo.
Hey, no, but
Lane
realistically, it could be either Lane. It could be Shark.
I was
too.
going to say Sharkeezy at Texas coming right back. That's a topic for another day.
All right, first main talking point of the day presented by Big Orange Concrete Pumping. Taylor Jones with Big Orange Concrete Pumping has been doing this type of work for a very long time. He has one of the biggest line pumps in the state, so make sure to reach out to Big Orange Concrete Pumping for any of your concrete needs. All right, y'all, let's get Vawls deep in these position groups. Let's grade them from their performance during the Austin P game. Quarterbacks.
I'm going to start it off. I'm going to start the quarterback at a C-. You know, there was no turnovers. We made decent decisions. There was just nothing down the field. A few bad throws that if accurate, then we really wouldn't have much to discuss. It's got to get better. That's all there is to it.
I'm going to go with a B. You know, I know people are complaining he's not going down the field. But look, that could just be a coaching thing. It's like, and why would you want to throw deep balls down the field against these lesser schools? You know, your tape's out there already. Like, don't show everything. Like, and I thought Melton did fine. I'm giving him a B. 21 for 33, 228 yards, 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. For any other quarterback, that's a good day. That really is. I just think we put too much of a high expectation standard. Like, everybody thinks he should be winning the Heisman today. Well, guess what? They don't give out the Heisman today. They give it out in December.
The problem with that is he's just following Hendon Hooker, man.
Yeah, it is.
And everybody wants the same.
Everybody wants that. But you know what? He's Joe
Hendon
Milton.
was great.
He's
And
Joe Milton.
yeah.
He's not Hendon Hooker.
I agree with everybody here. I think he got, I'm going to say like a B minus is what I would give. Milton, he's not played terrible this year, to be honest with you. He's played good, and Spanky gave his stats off. How many yards did he have? Like 228. 228. That's still good stats. I mean, he's not out there. And a lot of the plays, they was drop plays. I mean, you can't put it on him for them drop plays.
I will say this, they was talking about on the radio today. He is, as far as efficiency, last in the SEC. For a quarterback. Yeah, I think so too. But I got him as a C. Not great, not horrible, but does have to be better. Running backs.
Running backs, A. Like, I think they still had a good performance on Saturday. 221 yards, 7 yards per carry about. Like, that's pretty good. Hey, all you need's 10. So
I gave us a B+. Nothing jumps out. There was no 50-plus yard runs. You know, we have 3 solid options at running back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give a B. I thought he was pretty solid at running back. Nothing special. I mean, we was running the standardized Tennessee offense that we've always knew before, and but we done good with it this week. We done really good with it.
I'm gonna go A. Solid performance overall. Wide receivers.
I'm going to put my wide receivers and tight ends together into one. I'm going to give them a C minus. Like, too many drop balls. Just you gotta catch the football. If it's overthrown your head, that's quarterback. But when it's touching your hands, you just got to catch the ball. And I don't know if it was the nerves or just whatever, and like who knows. But you just got to catch the football at the end of the day.
I gave them a D. Yeah, I rated Milton higher than I did receivers. Each of the receivers had a ball that should have been caught that was hitting their hands, and for whatever reason simply wasn't caught. We had a couple of holding calls against our wide receivers. We had a offensive pass interference that I just don't think the official knew the rule to begin with.
Yeah.
It passes behind the line of scrimmage. You don't have offensive pass interference on that, and he called it twice, and I was just ready to throw my hat at the TV. But it is what it is. It's got to be better.
I gave him a D minus, just give him improvement for this week coming up. I mean, we expected so much out of these receivers, and I mean, games, you know. Last week, how many yards was we talking they was going to have a piece? Remember that? And none of them come close to meeting them goals. So D minus. This week will be a new week for them. Let's hope that they're getting the reps in practice, and they get a new mindset in the game, and Hopple kicks that damn ass for them.
Yeah, I'm going D. Got to catch football, man. It's that simple. Got to catch football. Blocking wasn't great. Like Spur said, there was some penalties, but they didn't stay on their blocks long enough as well. A lot of them plays. Tight end.
Spanky already said the tight ends, so I gave the tight ends a B. I said, other than one drop, our tight ends played pretty well. McKellen Castles had the long touchdown. It was probably our best offensive moment of the entire game.
Just throw my tight end there with the wide receivers. I'm pretty let down at the moment.
B plus for tight ends. Blocking was good. Couple catches. McAllen Castles. That's what he is, man. He was a NFL target before he come here, and we're really going to put him on the map.
That gave us just a bit of a preview of what we could expect from Castles.
100%. Offensive line.
Well, since Spanky's looking, I'm going to go first.
Oh, yeah, go
I
on.
gave our offensive line a C minus. There is absolutely no reason why Austin Peay should have been in our backfield whatsoever. Speed is sometimes better than size, but Austin Peay didn't have either speed or size. Now, I'm really concerned about our offensive line coming into Florida. You know, we do get Cooper Mays back, and that's going to be a big help. Or hopefully we get Cooper Mays back. But,
Sorry, I'm laughing at comment. Go ahead.
oh yeah, I was really worried about them being in the backfield.
I'm gonna go with the C as well. Like the linemen, like he said, Austin Peay shouldn't have been in the backfield as much. And I guess I don't know if it's like a communication issue, but you got to pick up blitzes, and you got to be communicating. But other than that, just a C minus. Like, and look, Florida, it's gonna be rocking whatever. We still got to communicate. If you see blitz, you got to call it. So that's just something we got to work on. But I think having Cooper back this week, it's going to help the offensive line out because he is the leader of the offensive line. I think having your leader back out there, I think it's going to help.
I'm going to give C+, and that's just because Cooper's out. I think, like they said, we get Cooper back, it's going to be a different ball game with the offensive line.
I'm going C minus. Playing a front that's much shorter, lighter, slower. Not as athletic as you, we should not have struggled whatsoever.
Did you copy my notes?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Brains just think alike. Defensive line.
I gave our defensive line a B. I thought it was a fairly solid performance, and it may have been an A had Diatello, is that how you say the quarterback's name? Had he not broke that 50-yard run on 4th and 2 to start the game.
Right.
A for defensive line, I thought they had another good game. Couple times they probably should have been in the backfield, but solid effort for them.
Yeah, I'll give them a B.
I'm gonna go A. I think another great performance. Just a base type defense. We dominated. Anxious to do with what we do with some stunts and twists and blitzes. You know, I'm very excited about this defensive line. Defensive backs.
I went B minus. The pass interference calls was on badly underthrown balls. I've said it earlier in the podcast. I love to see that rule change, but it is what it is. Otherwise, Austin P made some good throws, but they really didn't have anything over the top. A couple of overthrows that may have changed my grade, but I thought it was okay overall.
It seemed like with the DBs, pass interference calls, it seemed like everybody was going to have one at some point. And it's like pass interference are like assholes. Everybody's got one, apparently. But other than that, like what Spur said, that rule does need to be addressed. And it seems like it's not just hurting the college level; it's hurting every level with pass interference. I just don't see why it's so hard nowadays for that call. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean the definition is literally like both players have a chance at the ball.
I'll give them B. I thought they covered pretty well.
Going B as well too. I think they played fine. Like we all said, officiating was bad. I thought Haddon played good. He's got to get his head turned around on some of them plays, but much improved from last year. And I think once we start bringing the pressure up front on the quarterback, I think it's gonna really help the defensive backs out even more. Linebackers.
What B plus? Our attack up the middle was tremendous. Beasley looked awesome. I thought some of our young guys got some good reps in. They were out of position a time or two, but nothing egregious. I'm just not giving any A's whatsoever in this game, just to be honest.
Well, you know what? I'll give him an A. I'm giving the linebackers an A. I'm telling you, Beasley had a phenomenal game. He is a dog.
Played a lot of bodies
for the linebackers.
I'll give him B, but I'll give Beasley an A.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to go B as well. Like I said, played a lot of bodies. Out of position, a little bit hesitant, but we're young. We're deep, but we're young at linebacker.
Copy my notes again.
Yeah, I like their play, man. All right, special teams, then we'll hit some of y'all's comments.
C plus, like Spurs said earlier, at least they made the field goals. Punts could have been a little bit better. Kicks off could have been a little bit better. But C plus for them.
I gave a B, and it's pretty much the same notes that Spanky just said. We made all of our kicks now. All of our field goals and all of our extra points have been good. We got to punt better. We got to kick better still. Those are going to hurt us this week if it happens. And we recovered a muff punt, so all's good.
Kicking on field goals, give them an A. Kicking on kickoff, F. I mean, 3 in the first 2 games. We're going to have to work on that a lot. We can't be having that happen against a big-time game at all. That's a starting at 35-yard line. That's a big penalty right there.
Yeah, we definitely can't do it against Florida. I'm going to go B, 100% field goals, 100% on PATs. I think punting overall was fine, but kickoffs, they improved, but they've got to improve even more going down there.
Well, look, I got an idea how we can solve this punting issue, guys. Are you ready for this? Look, this is like curing cancer here. It's gonna solve all the world's problems, end the world hunger. This is how you fix the punting issue. Just get first downs and score.
Score touchdowns, right?
That is how
Score
you
touchdowns.
fix the punting issue right there.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to punt again all year. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, it's funny because last week we was like, well, we need to work on punting, but we're not going to punt against Austin P. And
we punted.
We punted. Chase Gregg says, see y'all in Gainesville, Vawls Deep Podcast. Yeah, I can't wait to see you, man. Terry Reeves says, home opener delay seemed as bad of a call as their field off. Yeah, not running through the tee, man. That's what I'm blaming everything on.
Unfortunately, that call is more along the lines of liability and safety than anything. If there's a lightning strike within 8 miles of the stadium, by rule they must delay the game for 30 minutes. It's the same thing in high school. If there's a lightning strike within 8 miles, I have to pull every kid off the field no matter what.
I think running through the tee, I don't care if you got to get penalized, you run through the damn tee.
I agree.
But yeah,
why didn't they run through the tee? Even when they brought them back, why couldn't the band go back up?
I guess because the band was in the tunnel somewhere and they wasn't. I don't know. I guess
I can tell you why. If you want to know the real reason, why? Because timing and TV.
Well,
TV's like, we want to start now, and
that's fine. Yeah,
yeah, good point, man.
Well, you see,
we could have formed a tee for them out there, brother. We could have got some people out there to form a tee for them.
I said the same thing for TV, but then again, I was reminded that they was on SEC Network Plus and the ESPN app, so they had nothing else before or after coming on.
Well, still, if you're on SEC,
that is true.
They're gonna. That is a good point, but they're still going to try to control you.
Kimberly says 98 didn't begin very good either. That is very true.
And someone mentioned, I don't remember who it was. I seen it earlier, but Austin Peay was only down by Bama 17-0 at halftime. So last year, so they gave Bama a pretty good first half as well. James Ferris mentioned Boo Carter looking at Colorado going on a visit. Are we a little worried about that?
He'll be there.
I would be worried about
Simple
that.
answer is yes.
I think once he sees the difference in atmosphere, that might help. But honestly, I obviously don't know Boo, but I think NIL money might be and Tennessee can pay more than Colorado, unless it's coming out of Deion's pocket. Devin says C- for receivers. Blocking was really good. Drop passes, unacceptable. I agree with you, Devin. He said last year Austin Peay at half with Bama was 17-0. Final score was 34-0.
That was a comment I said. I couldn't find it again.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well. Let's see. If I missed you, just hit me again. Kevin says Tennessee versus Florida State in the Rose Bowl. That'd be cool.
Well,
Corey Elmore says go Vols.
it can't happen, though, because the Rose Bowl is for the Pac-12 and the Big Ten.
You just crushed that man's dream. I want you
But-
to know that. You just did him dirty.
But he's throwing out a good point because we talk about history repeats itself. And what if Florida State and Tennessee is the championship game this year?
Oh, Lord.
It's going to get expensive.
Oh,
Yeah. Be doing stuff
You
with
could
our houses
imagine
and
what,
stuff
what
we
ticket
shouldn't be
prices were for 98.
I'll be
Just-
selling-
Oh, my Lord.
Selling off some hockey jerseys.
doing. Jonathan on Facebook says passing game was a solid F-. That the combination of everyone involved in the passing game. Inaccurate passes, drop balls, holding calls, bad decisions, few downfield passes. Let's see. Mr. Jones says Joe needs to target Brew and Squirrel. Squirrel has been quiet so far. Joe needs to start wedging balls into their. Jamie says Joe needs to start wedging balls into their face mask, Little Giant style.
Or look, they deem it as not a catch or whatever. That'd be all
Joe
right.
just needs to take the ball and just throw it as hard as he can and hit a defensive back in the stomach, and then he won't cover us anymore.
Hey, maybe he could throw it so high that he could run down there and catch the ball.
Catch it himself?
Yes.
Hey.
There you go.
Got quite a few listeners on YouTube tonight. All right, let's give out some game balls. Who would you give the game ball to on offense?
Go ahead, Spanky. I know I got mine.
I'll let you go ahead and go. I'm
All
still
right.
trying to
My
figure out.
offensive game ball goes to Charles Campbell, our field goal kicker. 3 for 3 on field goals. He's 10 for 10 on extra points for the year.
I've got him wrote down as my second one.
There you
Yeah,
go.
That's actually who I have wrote down on my paper.
That's pretty bad, boys.
I'm not even gonna give one for offense. I'm not gonna give one.
I'm going to go Jalen Wright, 13 carries,
All right.
124 yards, 9.1 average. For,
He had a solid day.
defensive game balls.
I think this one is
This is
unanimous.
I write down
think it's-
multiple because I ain't copying like Spanky does.
Well,
I don't think you have to copy on this
Yeah,
one.
this is Aaron Beasley.
Yeah.
9 tackles. He had 5 for a loss for 24 yards and two sacks that was 19 more yards. So 43 yards total lost on Beasley's tackles.
He leads the country in tackles for loss. Yep. I'm going to go Wesley Walker, change it up, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 sack. All right, thank you all for listening for our first main talking point of the day. We're going to take a short, 1-minute break. We have a lot more coming your way, including a giveaway. Share this out for us, please. Comment, like. If we missed your comment, comment it again. Next, we have Start, Bench, Cut.
Since July of 2021, our student athletes have capitalized on so many NIL opportunities that have been presented to them. Those opportunities exist because of the power of Vawl Nation. When you combine the most passionate fan base in the country with the city of Knoxville and our great state, you create the nation's #1 NIL destination for student athletes. There's no better place for our players to build their brands than right here at Tennessee. I encourage all of you to support and donate to Spire Sports and Our Lady Vawl Booster Collective. These collectives are here to serve our student athletes the right way in our community. To get involved, please scan this QR code now. It's been an incredible fall for our program, and we are just scratching the surface of what we can accomplish. Let's all do our part to ensure that Tennessee continues to lead the way in name, image, and likeness. Go Big Orange.
All right, next we have start, bench, cut.
Put that
Let's
cigarette
scoot over,
out.
Corbin.
Let's scoot over, buddy. Get closer to me.
All right, we're live from the Vawls Deep Man Cave. We hope you're having a great
And in
Wednesday
living
night.
color.
Live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Share it out for us. Slap the like button for us. We'd truly appreciate it. We have start, bench, cut. How this works is I'll give a question. We have to rank our answers in order from first to last. Start being 1 and cut being 3 or last. Question 1. What is your biggest concern about this football team going into the swamp? Quarterback, drop passes, or secondary?
To me, I want to start drop passes. That's a big concern just because last week we can't have. It's okay to have drop passes against Austin Peay. It's not okay to have drop passes against an SEC school. Bench, I'm going to go with the quarterback. I think Milton, I think he'll be fine. But we still got to watch out for it. I think he's going to be fine. Then cut, I'm going to go with the secondary. Even though Florida's offense is not what we would call the old Florida offense. It's not the fun and gun type of shootout offense, but I just still worry about that secondary just a little bit.
Starting the quarterback, it's going to be better. Simple as that. I don't know if it's his footwork. I don't know if it's something in his head. It's just going to be better, and I'm a Joe guy, so I believe it will be. I'm going to bench drop passes. It goes hand in hand with the quarterback. And just like Spanky said, I'm going to cut the secondary. I think Florida's a run-heavy team to begin with.
When I start drop passes, we can't have that happen again. We got to improve from this past week. Gonna bench the secondary just because it's Florida. We're probably gonna have some injuries. Probably gonna have some cramps going on. As bad as it is to say, but that's how it goes. And cut the quarterback, Milton. I still think Milton's the guy. I ain't got no doubt in him. He's played good so far. So.
And it's crazy that Florida is such a better run team than pass team because that's usually not like, especially these past couple of years. Florida has struggled to run the ball the past couple of years, and they've been okay with passing the past few years, but I just don't think they got the quarterback that they need right now. They don't.
Yeah, I'm going to start quarterback. We have to have good quarterback play to win in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to bench our secondary just because of the history of our secondary, especially against Florida. Go back to 2017 and some
You get flashbacks, don't you?
And I'm gonna cut drop passes because I think we figured it out this week. I really do. Question 2: how many points does Tennessee beat Florida by this weekend? 3 or less, 7 or 10?
Well, I'm going to go with what I think the score is going to be. I think I'm going to start 10. I think it's going to be a 10 or more ball game. Bench, I'm going to go with 7. And then cut, I'm going to do 3. I think Florida, they're going to give us a fight because like what we said earlier, it's the motivation game for you. And that's the thing that Billy Napier and his staff are looking for. They're looking for that marquee win. And they really don't have that. And that's kind of what you need to set yourself apart from everybody else as a coach. You got to have a marquee win. So I think if you thought last year he was going balls to the wall, I just got a feeling you might want to hold off on this one.
Billy Napier is 0-5 versus his big rival opponents. It's Florida State, Georgia, and Tennessee.
Never beat a rival.
He paid McNeese State, or they paid $500,000 to break their 4-game losing streak.
I start 10+. I think it's a fight for